Hello, hello, hello. This is coffee time again. This is where we go to study my website. So me and the missus can watch something whilst we get a sandwich. Yeah, I get to watch myself again whilst I eat. It's very discombobulating, but the missus insists that I do it. What else have we got? Well, the lead story is not a very good one, because I've not checked the news today. It's an American story, but we're not gonna. You know what it is. If I say it's American and it's not a good story, you probably guess what it is. So I'm not going to talk about it. But we're going to hit court news first. This is the story of Michelle Spicer, right? And wow, there's a lot to unpack here. She was a 60-year-old model apparently, and she claims she was forced out of a beach hut for being too glamorous. Okay, shall we have a look? Here she is, posing outside Worthing Law Courts. She's a former teacher, apparently. Of course she is, and a glamorous granny. And in fact, is a better picture of her. This is Miss Spicer attending court, where she was. This is the High Court in London, I might add, because it all escalated. Indeed, it all escalated. She clashed with locals who accused her of antisocial behaviour at a seaside beach hut, which she called Mermaid Haven. And this is at Goring by the Sea in West Sussex. They reported the former teacher's rowdy behaviour to the council and accused her of carelessly parking her open-top Mercedes sports car and blasting out music on the vehicle's radio. And the animosity grew as she became convinced that one neighbour in particular was involved in a plot to evict her from her beachfront hut. And the hut was actually taken away from her by the local council in 2021, making her the first person to be evicted from a beach hut in 24 years. Isn't she the lucky one? But she claims that this is because she was glamorous, and her Mercedes. They were jealous of her Mercedes sports car. But then Miss Spicer began a revenge campaign against one lady, and she actually left town and changed jobs as a result of her harassment. The neighbour, who cannot be named, will be put on a hoodie and shades even when going to the corner shop to avoid being spotted, the High Court heard. A neighbour's barrister, Kate Strange, said the victim, who had been branded a vulture in an Instagram post by Miss Spicer, had been driven from the seaside town that she loved, and it ruined her life. And Spicer made 30 complaints to the police, resulting in 2 community protection orders being the lady had 30 complaints to the police, which resulted in Spicer getting 2 community protection orders. But the police had no effect. The police action had no effect on her. And in July last year, the neighbour felt there was no choice but seek an injunction to curb the harassment. He goes, it's something for the dads there. To keep your mind on the story. I mean, she really does think a lot of herself, this woman. I guess this is her with her Mercedes that we're all jealous of. Yeah, okay. You're welcome to it. So she fought to get an injunction. The court order barred Miss Spicer from the waterfront area of her former hut from contacting or communicating with the victim or visiting the gym she frequents, and from generally harassing or stalking her. But despite the injunction, she continued to harass and intimidate the claimant. And this resulted in Spicer being hauled before a judge for contempt of court. Yeah. So last week she was taken to the High Court, where Judge Richard Pearce, having found her in contempt of court for breaching the injunction, handed her a 24-week jail sentence, suspended for 2 years, of course. She also received a financial penalty when the judge ordered her to pay the former neighbour's legal costs, which they reckon is £53,000. she'd recently bragged on social media that her accusers were as thick as planks and that she was super intelligent and smarter than them, and they can't bear it. Yeah. The barrister who was prosecuting said Spicer had shown little remorse for how she treated the victim, adding, "My client's life has been ruined by her actions." There you go. Bit more for the dads there. Bit more flesh. There you go. It's a very expensive beach hut, isn't it? Just. So yeah, very expensive. Why can't everyone just get along? Yeah. Why can't they? No one can. Meanwhile, Dishi Rishi was given a speech today. This is ahead of an international summit to be held in the UK next week, and he warned that AI could be used by terrorists to build chemical and biological weapons, and criminals to do other awful things, because AI can do that, because AI doesn't have a conscience. So it's depressing, isn't it, really? AI is going to kill us. Meanwhile, if you hear any voices, it's my daughter's voice cutting through the noise reduction. Meanwhile, let's go to the Isle of Wight. Archaeology news. This is we're going to Yaverland. Right? Excavation work was being carried out to improve the sea defences on the beach. And what did they find? They found some well-preserved dinosaur footprints. Again, I don't know what I'm looking at. Looks like rocks to me, but trust me, there are dinosaur footprints there for you to see. They wouldn't lie to us, would they? And they reckon that the three-toed tracks are believed belong to a 125 million year old creature called a Manteliosaurus. And I love it says artist's impression. Just because, again, we don't even know if it was that colour. It could be sky blue pink, couldn't it? Because nobody knows what the dinosaurs really look like. Oh, I see. And here's a better angle of the footprints. Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's a bit more footprinty from that angle. But yeah, there was improving flood defences to 600 properties in the area where they uncovered the Manteliosaurus footprint. So there you go. Little bit of archaeological news there for you. Meanwhile, Labour Party's in trouble. Rachel Reeves, the Shadow Chancellor, finds herself in a little bit of hot water. Here she is with Keir Starmer. What's she been up to? Well, she's been accused of plagiarism because she's got a new book out. Right? It's called The Woman Who Made Modern Economics. And the Financial Times reported that its journalists had managed to identify entire paragraphs lifted from sources, and she hadn't credited them. This includes material from Wikipedia, the Guardian newspaper, and remarks made by Labour MP Hilary Benn without attribution. Basic Books, the publisher, defended the Labour frontbench, saying she had not sought to present the material as original research, but acknowledged that factual sentences were not properly referenced in every instance. A spokesman for Miss Reeves said these were inadvertent mistakes and will be rectified in future reprints. Greg Hands, you need hands. He's the Tory chairman now. He's the guy that messed up the music industry, wasn't he? Didn't Greg Hands own EMI or something at one point, or Virgin? He said this is potentially very serious. For example, 3 German cabinet ministers have resigned since 2011 due to plagiarism, which is much longer ago than these allegations in today's FT. And yeah, so if you go on Amazon, maybe I should put an affiliate link in, and you see this book, you've probably already read it on Wikipedia. Just don't do it. If you're gonna quote people, you've got to remember to attribute them. It's basic schoolboy error. It's 101. You know, it's basic stuff. You should know that. Meanwhile, Steve Coogan, famed for Alan Partridge and playing Now Then, Jimmy Savile. Again, it shows you that these poor, I don't know what you call them, celebrities, should really think before they open their mouths. He's dismissed fans of the royal family as flag-waving idiots. Never waved a flag in my life. But he says he's torn on King Charles because he likes Waitrose's Duchy Original range. Now, that sounds like something Alan Partridge would say. And here he is with an old age pensioner he's met on the street. Oh, wait a minute. That's Jeremy Corbyn. There you go. The man who single-handedly destroyed the Labour Party. But yeah, he said these people are flag-waving idiots, but they are gathered on, heading towards Buckingham Palace, where, it's what you do. You wave flags when you go and celebrate the royalty, innit? But yeah. But she said, having said that, that the Queen worked very hard, so she was all right. The rest of them, they're problematic for me. Again, you can't. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about, does he? That's the problem with those left-wing lovies. And this is, now we're going to Great Yarmouth. Yeah, you're going to Norfolk. More coastal news. Residents of an awful village suffering from coastal erosion say they've been abandoned by the government. Absolutely. This is at Hemsby. We're going back to Hemsby. The in-laws live up that way. So we're kind of interested. We lived near there back in the day. Not near there, but we used to head there. But yeah, this is one property in Hemsby that to quote Aerosmith, living on the edge, and they've been abandoned. Again, all this can be stopped by the coastal defences, which again, that's a better picture of it. Look at that. I mean, again, you've got to look at the upside. The upside to this, the silver lining, is at least he doesn't have to bother mowing his back lawn anymore. Yeah, and as for taking the dog out, you just let the dog out, and wait a minute. Rover, come back. Oh, he's fell in the sea. So yeah, maybe that isn't a silver lining, but yeah, there's a lot of coastal erosion up that part of the country, and near where the in-laws live, they've put like big concrete barriers along there. They've been there for years, and stone. They used to also like reclaim stone barriers, and they've kind of stopped the work up there and leaving these people to dangle. And literally dangle. And yeah. And this is ex-Grenadier Guard Lance Martin, who actually moved his house back from the edge. But yeah, there's a lot of that going on up there. And it's a shame. It's a shame because, And yeah, Mr. Martin actually ended up creating his own barrier to protect his home. Let's see, and that's all it takes. It just takes that along the cliff edge to stop the waves destroying the cliffs. And the really interesting thing is the accelerated rate of change. Now, again, we've been going into that area for 25 years-ish, and I remember they used to say, "Oh, it's going to be like 100 years before this happened." It's got quicker and quicker. The rate of coastal erosion has increased exponentially. That's a big word, isn't it? This is very much This is very much a coffee time story. Yeah. What do we file this under? Student news. We're going to the University of Augsburg in Germany, right? And students, right? They had a very important vote, right? Very important vote yesterday, and a heated discussion arose at the student convention there at the University of Augsburg. When they were there to discuss whether to allow or not glory holes in the toilets at the lecture hall centre. I shit you not. Yeah, the students talked about glory holes, or as they in Germany they're known as Sexlücken, and they debated for an hour. Right. The application text said 3 glory holes are to be built in the lecture hall centre opposite the entrance where the information boards are currently located, noting that the cabin should be soundproof and opaque. But of course, this created an outcry. The ring of the Christian Democrat students argued in an open letter to the university president that the establishment of glory holes at university is not only inappropriate but also highly scandalous and unacceptable. Nah. And this is the fact that it even got onto the discussion minutes is ridiculous. But this is the world we live in. The freaks have won. Yeah. Although some in attendance at the student convention were in support of the glory holes, the convention concluded that the suggestion that the proposal should be viewed as a joke proposal was accepted by the majority. That's how they dismissed it. This must be a joke. But a spokesman for the university said the university management does not evaluate the agendas of the student convention and does not make a statement. It can be assumed that this agenda item is to be understood as satirical. But a university employee said the applicants are so woke, they don't mean it as a joke. Actually, so it wasn't a joke. Another suggestion marked on the application said that the height should also be adjustable and there should be wall handles so you can hang on to it. Oh, we're doomed. And again, another statement said a glory hole would contribute to the diversification of campus, as kink could be also experienced or lived at the university, the application suggested. Sex can also be a relaxing activity, which also could be very useful in the often stressful everyday university life. Oh God! And yeah, it'd be a stress relief. It'd be and provide a more positive working atmosphere on campus. Well, mind you, another item on the agenda was a memorial for the campus cat Leon, who passed away on September the 14th. Now that's serious. That is a serious thing. Jesus H. Crumpets, where are we? What are we doing? Meanwhile, let's tell the story of Toby Quinn. Right, he goes to St Aidan's Catholic Academy in Sunderland, and he's been put into isolation because he's got an extreme hairdo. Right? Yeah. Do you want to see his extreme hairdo? Now, again, for those of us who grew up in the 1980s, we go, what's wrong with that? Yeah, he's got a mullet, and mullets are now classed as an extreme hairdo, and the school gave him a week to chop off his mullet. And but they extended the deadline when he said, "Okay, we can turn this into a silver lining." The teenager, I gotta love him. He's a clever sod. What he decided to do, right, is he said, "Okay, I'll cut off my mullet, but we're going to raise money for charity," and that's what he did. He raised £340 in donations after setting up a Just Giving page, and gave the money to Newcastle Hospital's charity to support a ward that saved his granddad's life last year. And here he is afterwards without the mullet. So there you go. So turned it into a silver lining, which is good, isn't it? But I got a story. You see, this is it. Someone, you might think I plan all this, but I don't. This is purely coincidental. The US Mullet Championships have been going on at the moment, and there are 25 finalists, and we can have a look at some of these fine people. This is Jeremy Scrappy Perrine of Pennsboro. That's fine. That's a fine mullet, isn't it? You like that? You like some of that? Let's see. This is Patrick Sosman of Springfield, Illinois. Alex McDuffie, Zachary Reisvig, Brandon Mitvire. These are fine examples of mullets. See, don't be ashamed. Embrace your mullet. They all look like they should be wrestlers from the 80s. That just makes you proud. Isn't he in Metallica? That's an extreme mullet, that is. We've got another 9 of these. You know, sometimes you can. Oh, I see. Yeah, he's got the That's called. He calls that the Kalamazoo Sholo. Of course he does. Each of these mullets have got a name. I think that's enough. I think I've done enough damage there with the mullets, don't you? I do too. So, meanwhile, did you ever watch Can't Pay Will Take It Away? Oh, I used to love that show when it was on. All those scumbags who didn't pay their bills and the bailiffs turn up. Do you remember Paul Bohill? Do you remember him? Yeah, here he is. He used to be on that show, right? And that's outside his pub, the Plough Inn, at Holham, near Hull, right? And he used to be on that show. He was one of the bailiffs, wasn't he? And here he is inside the boozer, which he now owns. He's trying to bring the boozer back to life. But yeah, he got a knock at the door, right? Why? Was it the bailiffs? He's fighting for his plans to restore this pub that he's bought, the Plough Inn. And he says the planning authority need to he's urging them to investigate, right? Because people keep harassing them about the plans. He claims staff work at the establishment have been quizzed about the toilet plans, the doorways, outside tables, pool table and jukebox. And he says he's even had a complaint about people smoking outside the pub, and they were visited by the police and health and safety officers. So it's like a constant campaign. We had a similar thing at the shop, like health and safety and all that. Turn up. Mr. Bowl said, "We're not trying to bend rules, and we understand why certain procedures are in place, but we have been visited almost by every public body now. Pubs are closing all over the country. We actually want to spend some time and money to make this pub a success and a community hub. But obviously somebody doesn't want him to do that. He says it's getting worrying, but is that somebody wants to see us fail. The pub's previous owners of 20 years only opened the boozer as little as once a week after an illness in the family, and they're trying to build it up and bring it back to life. And a group of village volunteers who we saw in that picture helped out. They were over cleaning, painting and decorating the place, and they're still working hard. There's some building work for you. But isn't it weird? Someone, I imagine it's just one person, doesn't want the pub to reopen, and have started a little harassment campaign on Paul Bohill on his pub. la. Just trying to find some more stories. Yeah, these are not good stories. Apple TV's gone up, and it's quite significant. In the last, I think it's last year and a bit, they've almost doubled their prices, and customers are threatening to cancel their subscriptions. I cancelled mine after Ted Lasso ended. No more, no more. But meanwhile, more archaeology news. This is a gold brooch that was discovered. It's been lost for 800 years. A metal detectorist found it in a pea field. Gintaris Bimovicius, what a name, was exploring the pea field in Spalding in Lancashire, and the 53-year-old, he was quite astounded when he found the brooch. And when you see it, it's a unique looking piece. And it's like it's in pristine condition. And here it is in the mud when he found it. But yeah, I reckon it could be worth £10,000. And here he is. Here's the metal detectorist who found it. There you go. You see, he broke out into a gold dance and was seen flapping and waving his arms in the field when he when he found it. I think he would, wouldn't you? Yay! But they reckon it was lost during a bloody sword fight. Bloody sword fight? Or a bloody sword fight? It's a bloody sword fight. Or is it a bloody sword fight? Because they reckon that when they had sword fights, they'd have to take their jewellery off. And it obviously got lost in the kerfuffle. So there you go. Have you found any old brooches? Leave a comment in the box below. You won't. You won't. Meanwhile, let's go to Sri Lanka. This is a weird one. Sri Lankan shamans. Shaman, yeah. E's are good. Ebenezer good. Do you remember Boss Drum? Who remembers the shaman? Remember the guy who drowned, didn't he? He drowned in Ibiza trying to rescue someone from the sea. There you go. So just went off there. Yeah, but the Sri Lankan shamans, who are known for helping pilgrims place curses on enemies, went on strike today after appeals to their Lord of Destruction failed to resolve a pay dispute. Sinagama Diwali, a shrine on a small islet off of Sri Lanka's southern coast, they have daily ceremonies, and celebrants guide the grinding of fiery peppers over a millstone, and the ritual offering is made to Devoil, a deity whose duties involve comforting the faithful and unleashing great suffering on the enemies. Sounds like me. But yeah, the temple's chief shaman, D.M. Kumara, said he and his 9 colleagues have halted the celebrations and ceremonies to protest new rules that have cut their earnings. Local administrators ruled that Kumar and his colleagues can now only take 30% of cash, gems and jewellery, the offerings that are made to Duval, down from the complete share they took earlier. And he said, it's not enough, I want more. And he said that they'd all appealed to the deity to intervene on their behalf, adding that the strike was necessary in interim. He said, we took our grievances to God Duval, but we are taking direct action because we're not seeing any immediate results. Because sometimes divine influence takes a little time to work. So there you go. If your deity isn't responding, go on strike. I think it's good advice to anyone, isn't it? Hey, we've got our first one of these. Who hates woke? Oh, I can't stand the woke. I'd rather be asleep in bed comfortable under our duvet, nice and warm. But we hate the woke. This is the Bowes Museum, right? And it's a museum founded by ancestors of the late Queen Mother. Now they have a market every year, at this time, and they've rebranded it. It used to be a Christmas market. Now it's a winter market. Even I think that's too much. Yeah, it should be a non-denomination winter festival market. There you go, and people are outraged. People are outraged. Actually, it's BBC Antiques road trip expert David Harper. He said that their decision was bonkers, and said that they're deleting Christmas. Don't think they are, but it is a bit daft. If it's known as it was known as a Christmas market, it seems a bit daft. Because here he is, he's furious. Look at him. Look how furious he is. They should have got the furious picture, shouldn't they? Again, I don't think it's erasing Christmas, but it's a shame that these things aren't continued, because it's Christmas and people of all faiths celebrate Christmas, whether they like it or not. God, what religion? There are many answers to this, but leave them in the comments box below. What religion would be so mean as to deny their children the joy of Christmas? There you go. Anyway, it's a pagan festival. Anyway, they stole it from us. Heathens, didn't they? So yeah, that's our first. They've cancelled Christmas story in the Daily Mail. Makes you feel proud, doesn't it? Makes you feel proud. Have we got any? Oh, here we go. We have top toys this Christmas. This is the Amazon top toy list. Should we do it in reverse order? Why not? As soon as they've already cancelled Christmas at that museum. Here we go. We're going to do it in reverse order. So in at number 10, it's the Lego Star Wars Ghost and Phantom set, $149.99. Excuse me. Is that one from Ahsoka? It looks like it. Is that Green Lady? P-Lady, we call her. Oh, who can forget the Furby? Furby Purple. $59.99. Number blocks. They still do number blocks. We used to watch that with the kids. $39.99. Playmobil City Action Fire Truck. $39.99. The LOL Surprise Magic Flyers. 35 quid. The Happy Multi-Musical Block Set with 5 musical instruments. $27.93. Very reasonable. Very reasonable. And this is, I guess this is a Barbie Magical Ballerina Doll. How many points of articulation? This is a joke at home there. I think she has many points of articulation there. Something for Verity there. Pokemon Trading Card Battle Game Academy with Pikachu on the front and Eevee. You can see Eevee there. $17.99. And Disney Platinum Limited Edition Mystery Capsule, a tenner. Yours for a tenner. And up the top is Asmodee Double Card Game, $9.99. There you go. My day was it walnuts and a satsuma and a hoop on a stick. If we were lucky. If we were lucky. Just having a scrolling. Meanwhile, do you remember the Wonky Pub? Well, guess what? There's a new Wonky Pub in town. Well, it's not. It's an old Wonky Pub, but it's now the wonkiest pub since the other Wonky Pub got mysteriously burnt in a fire. Yeah, the Tilted Barrel in Tipton, is just 5 miles down the road from the Crooked House Pub, which burnt down mysteriously in August. But yeah, this one, the Tilted Barrel, says regular Carl Falconer. Look, pretending to push it. A little bit of false perspective there. That is the new wonkiest pub in Britain. But it failed to sell when it went under the hammer on Wednesday. I mean, crikey, I think you'd have to get pissed to look at that being straight, wouldn't you? I mean, you wouldn't even need to have a lot to drink to bounce off the walls of that pub. But yeah, it was up on the market for £170,000. Couldn't sell it. We should have got it, missus. We should have got it. And then we could have done this to it for the insurance money. No, allegedly. Be careful what you say, Darren. Be careful. People are watching. No, there aren't. No one's watching. That's the glory of this. It's just me and you, missus. Just me and you. We're the only people who are watching. Oh, wait a minute. There's a yellow rain warning for the southeast from the Met Office. Remember, don't drink the heavy rain. The yellow rain even. Or the heavy yellow rain. You can tell I just want this to end. I want the agony to end. There you go. I wouldn't even bother taking your brolly. It's like, I wouldn't go out. Just stay home. Just stay home. Not covering that. What they do is they put in a load of Israel Hamas. Meanwhile, this is South Wales police are in trouble because a passenger filmed two policemen. They were travelling to a 999 call. This is in Pontypridd in South Wales on the 5th of August 2022. So it's a bit old, but the passenger filmed the policeman watching the football as they raced to a 999 call. There you go. So if you ever read those stories where a person's been killed by a police car, now you know why. It's because they've been watching the football. Oh, here we go. This is a story of a plaque, right? This plaque was placed in East Sussex village by BBC Two as part of their 2016 Black and British series, right? And it was to celebrate the remains of the Beachy Head woman who was found near this site. Of African origin, she lived in East Sussex on the second and third century AD. Right, now it's part of the BBC History Project. Very honourable. It's good to honour Black history, and they reckon this is the woman. They reckon they did a model of her and everything. And it's been taken. It's been removed. The plaque's been removed. Yeah. The Beachhead lady, who they reckon was 1,800 years old, the remains was the plaque's been taken down. Racism. Boo! We don't like racism here. But no, it's because DNA analysis of the remains found she wasn't African at all. That she actually came from Cyprus. And so they went, and they removed the plaque, and no one should ever mention it again. Okay, these things happen. Right, we have some stupid for you. Who wants some stupid? This is some glorious stupid. Where is this? This is a YouTube video, right? And it's just it's of a motorcyclist. Here we go. Watch him go. Look at him go. Whoa, no, he's off. He's gone. And whammo! There you go. And that is how you do it. Oh dear. Not covering that. There's some horrible stories on here today. Meanwhile, this is in Bristol, Clifton in Bristol, where some thieves tried to steal a bike with a hammer in broad daylight until one fella intervened with a fire extinguisher. Look, there they are. Look, see? Look. Is that how it works? And someone said, no, you're not having it. And he gets the old fire extinguisher and throws at them. There we go. And saw them off. And we do have an animal story. Hooray, we have an animal story. we have any fun? Do we have anything in the? I do have a few things in the funny folder. Oh crikey, I've done a lot today already. Yeah, let's go. This is food news. We're going to South Korea, in the southern city of Gwangju. A 82-year-old man died, right, after choking on a piece of live octopus, and for some reason it doesn't want to do anything. Why, Daily Mail website? Have you frozen? There was a picture, and look, it's just doing this. It's completely futzed. You gotta love it when it all goes wrong, isn't it? Here we go. Got it now. Fixed it now. Stupid. I don't know why I bother doing this. Yeah, he choked on live octopus tentacle. It's a delicacy that involves freshly severed tentacles, and they still move. And apparently he choked on it and had a heart attack and died. Yeah. It's what he would have wanted, I think, isn't it? No? Okay. Meanwhile, they've cancelled Christmas, haven't they, at the Bose Museum? Well, in New Jersey, one of their school districts, the South Orange Maplewood School District, has banned Halloween festivities. Yeah, they're not having any festivities in the classrooms this year because they're saying it might be offensive to people for cultural and religious reasons. Yeah, and there's a big... they've done that, see? They cancelled Halloween. But America is the country that invented it. They invented Halloween. There must be some pictures. Here you go. Stock image of some offensive children offending everyone. Look, I don't like Halloween, but guess what? I don't care. If people enjoy it, let them enjoy it. Meanwhile, Governor Phil Murphy, he said, seriously, we can't let kids celebrate Halloween? Give me a break. Again, it's just, it's silly. Boo, hiss, boo. But I don't like. I mean, in a way, I think it's the right thing. Good news, everybody. The official Swedish dictionary has finally been completed. It's only taken them 140 years. Yeah, the definitive record of the Swedish language has been completed, with the dictionary's final volume sent to the printer last week. Its editor has announced. The Swedish Academy Dictionary, the SAOB, the Swedish equivalent of the Oxford English Dictionary, was drawn up by the Swedish Academy, which awards the Nobel Prize in Literature, and contains 33,111 pages across 39 volumes. Christian Mattsson said it was started in 1883 and now we're done. Over the years, 137 full-time employees have worked on it. But yeah, despite reaching the milestone and actually completing it's not finished, because volumes A to R are now so old that they need to be revised to include modern words. Mattsson explained one such word is allergy, which came into Swedish language around the 1920s, but is not in the A volume because that was published back in 1893. Barbie doll, app, computer are among 10,000 words that will be added to the dictionary over the next 7 years, and then it will then be out of date. They need to employ more people. So there you go. You can sleep well tonight knowing that the Swedish dictionary is it finished or not? I can't remember. I don't remember. Meanwhile, let's do some don't fancy yours much news. This is Vienna Wurzel, who lives in Mallorca in Spain, and the influencer, she's got 24,000 followers on TikTok, says that she will continue with her plastic surgery because I mean, really, hold it, let me just get the there's actually video of her. Look, you can actually see the lips moving. Look at that, and she's going to continue making them even bigger. Bonkers, isn't it? Oh dear. Yeah, we're doomed. We're doomed. We're doomed. But yeah, despite her enormous lip size and online trials, Vienna says she dreams of going even bigger. She's going to go even bigger. She's had 3 cc's and 7 cc's, and she reckons there's around 30 cc's in her lips of lip filler, and she wants to have them done even. And one person commented, "What is she saying?" Because no one could understand what she was saying. Meanwhile, this is the Yorkshire Wildlife Park. They're trying to get some lion cubs and their mother to their zoo. Yeah, they're fighting to save a lioness and 3 cubs from the horrors of war and bring them to Britain, as they've been abandoned in Ukraine following Russia's invasion. The cub's pregnant mother had to fight for herself in an abandoned private zoo in the eastern Donetsk region of Ukraine. And the Yorkshire Wildlife Park is urgently working to give mum Asa and her 10-month-old cubs, Emmy, Santa and Teddy, a wonderful new life on its sprawling reserve. Asa was rescued and taken to a temporary sanctuary near Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. And here they are. Here are the cubs. I think there's a picture of the lioness somewhere. And here's the lioness. So yeah, there is video, but you never know. There is a... Oh, here we go. Oops. And this is the campaign that they're doing to try and rescue these lions from Ukraine. So there you go. It'd be good if that will work, if they can help them out. Is there a statement? The zoo previously rescued 13 lions from Romanian zoo in 2010. And yeah, there's no arrival date for Isa and her cubs, but staff are working with the Polish authorities to arrange the necessary paperwork to get them here. And he said he's already begun preparing the family for life in their new home by playing them sounds from the park, which contains more than 400 animals. So they'll have to keep an eye out for that to see how that turns out. Let's see if there's anyone in the chat room. Probably not. Runs in, all right, Clive. Payne's in. He says beach hut, shed on sea. They're expensive, isn't it? She paid 15 grand for that, and another whatever it was costs. He says afternoon too. He says hi, Darren. Just making coffee. Good. Payne says a car without a roof, luxury. And Jess says it takes less energy to get along with people than not. So in effect, I'm not friendly, I'm efficient. Exactly. Just it takes a lot of effort to get worked up, doesn't it? Payne says Rachel Reeves always puts me in mind of every local council admin office manager who cuts and pastes. Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V. And he also says, don't build your house on sand dunes by the coast. They weren't sand dunes back in the day. The amount of coastal erosion is frightening. You wouldn't believe it. It's literally, you know, I've seen it happen over the years. It's frightening, and it's easily stopped. They could just put, you know, these barriers in to stop it, but nobody wants to do it for them. They've been abandoned. Jess says, Student X, good news. We're having an opening for you, indeed. Payne says, who says the Germans don't have a sense of humour? I don't know. Was it a sense of humour? And Ron says, love the student story. And Payne says, many of the mullet men look related. Hey, nothing wrong with that. You know, the family that plays together stays together. And there was a large helicopter flying over. What, at your place? They're looking for you. He's on the run. And with that, I think we've done enough damage. That was the news. Killing the channel one video at a time. You know you've got to drink up. Ta-ta. And G-Man just says, oh, he pops in at the last minute then. He just popped in. A latecomer. Ta-ta.